Well, welcome back to another Wednesday whiskey review from ya boys, the Buffalo Happy Hour. Today, we are going to be reviewing Aberfeldy, probably crushing that name. It's probably some crazy Aberfeldy or something like that. That sounded more Irish. Anyway, this is a Highland single malt Scotch whiskey. It's called the Golden Dram, which makes sense because this is in a golden box. Like, this is kind of cool, right? I don't know if we've ever reviewed a whiskey that's actually come in a hinged box before.
I agree.
So label branding A++, check, check. No, I don't know. Anyway, so before we get into it, Mike, how about you tell these people about our nice little sponsors over in Belleville?
There's a place in Belleville.
There's a place off Ocean Avenue.
Wow. Anyways, yellow card can go away.
Why?
There's a store located in Belleville that you might want to swing in and check out. It's called Addie's. They're located on Transit Road in between Wegmans and Home Goods. If you're a single dad, swing by on a Thursday at 4 or 5 o'clock. Might have what you need outside of booze. So, moving on. They have an in-house wine sommelier, a knowledgeable staff, and an app that you can download on whatever platform you have for a phone. The Apple App Store or the Google Playground Play Store has the Addie's Fine Wine and Spirits app. It's a white logo with a couple grapes hanging from a grapevine. Download that, check their inventory, and if you are within the state of New York, they can mail you whatever you buy. Just make sure you pay for shipping and don't select pick up in store if you live in Long Island, unless you want to drive, 8 hours, depending on traffic, to get here. So Addie's, thank you for your continued sponsorship/partnership. We're looking forward to working with you forever. And we also have a stand/shelf inside of their store. So we have a little small footprint now. So check that stand out to see what is being offered with this for 10%. It might also be this specifically. So whatever's on the top shelf, enjoy.
So Aberfeldy. The back says, just as Keats' epitaph reads, here lies one whose name was writ in water. We believe our name was born, nay, forged, in the gold-laced waters of the what?
You're crushing this.
Piddly burn? Pitili burn? Once unlocked, each dram recounts its own precious tale. A whiskey raconteur, if you will. The Golden Dram. Yes. The old raconteur. Anyway, the box that this is in is pretty sweet. I like these little icons on the side. I don't know what this first one is, but this next one's definitely an acorn, then a squirrel, then a barrel, then a water
raindrop. Yep, that's a shower.
Still,
that's a shower head.
And then a still.
Okay, that's
not a shower head.
That's a choo-choo train.
It's a lighthouse, a letter A, and a B. What is this first one?
Looks like a leaf.
I don't think it's a leaf. Oh, no, you might be right. I don't like it. F. No, I'm just kidding. I will say, though, just kind of, since I'm basically very proficient in Adobe Premiere Pro, I can comment on graphic design. I don't really like the shadow dots that they have on this box.
Would you relax?
You know what I'm saying, though?
It's fine.
But
it gives a character.
Does it, though?
Yeah.
It makes my eyes confused.
What if it's Braille, Derek?
It's not Braille. You can't feel it. Anyway, so let's open this box. A nice little unboxing here. We're shot, bro. It comes with a book.
Oh, great.
It's kind of cool, right? I'm going to read the entire thing to you. So this Wednesday whiskey review was 14 hours long.
You never opened this?
No, dude.
How much was this at Addie's? 60?
150.
Oh, shut up.
No, I'm just kidding. I think 50. I could be wrong. But anyway, Aberfeldy, Scottish alchemy, turning water, barley, and yeast into liquid gold is simpler when the stream tumbling towards you contains that precious metal. Built on land famous for deposits of gold, our distillery has welcomed travelers to taste its treasure since 1898. So they're using a stream for their water supply that is basically on top of deposits of gold, which is kind of the most badass thing I've really heard in a while. Mellowed for 12 years in handmade oak casks, this smooth, sweet dram offers rich reward for those who like to dig a little deeper. It's 40% AB or alcohol, 80 ABV or 80 proof. And I'm not going to read this entire story to you, but it does come with a book, which is pretty sweet, which talks about the story of Aberfeldy, which is pretty cool with little pictures. This is a picture book. Probably the first book I'll ever read. All right, so label branding. I mean, you have to go A++ check, at least.
I agree with your first rating of it.
Which was A++ check, plus, check, plus.
Boom.
I agree.
I agree.
All right, let me tear this off real quick, and then we'll dive right into the nose. Give me a second.
Here we go. Oh, goodness gracious.
Real cork, love that.
Sounds like Forrest Gump's mom's bed.
The bottle has a raised Aberfeldy distillery, too.
Nice. Good touch. Little tasting pour.
Little tasting pour. Just put this book back in there, huh?
I almost put the bottle on my coaster like I'm drinking right out of the bottle. I'm a dumpster fire.
You can if you want to. All right. So, nose.
It's a dark color in the bottle.
Yeah.
It's a nice color.
So this is a Highland Scotch. If you want more information on the regions of Scotland and how they vary, we did do an episode. I will link it up here somewhere for you to go back and watch. Typically, Highland is less peaty than Islay, but it still contains some earthy notes depending on what distillery you're getting it from. And to me, this is just straight, like, honey. Like honey, you're getting a little bit of, for some reason, with some of the Speyside Scotches and Highland Scotches and even, like, other regions outside of Islay, I'm getting a lot of cucumber with them.
There's a lot of cucumber in this.
Right?
There's
like
a
cucumber,
lot of
melon,
cucumber.
like very light, refreshing fruit.
And really mineralized water.
Yeah. That's a good call, mineralized water, because you can smell the deposits. What's that one alcohol that actually had gold in it? Goldschlager. Have you ever had that? We should review that.
Yeah, I've had it.
Go back to Super Bad.
Every New Year's, Vigilia, which is on New Year's, or actually it's Christmas Eve. Sorry. We do a shot of Goldschlager at midnight. So that's the only time I ever have it throughout the year.
So those notes in the nose, they're nice. It's not peaty. It's melony, a little bit of cucumber, like that refreshing water, minerals. You're getting a little honey, and a little bit of like a sea salt too. Like seaweed, I guess, maybe. This is kind of an interesting nose. Those flavors I'm not a huge fan of, but for some reason it's doing it for me in this. Seaweed to me is a really good call. And like there's this underlying licorice smell too.
There is a licorice smell.
So, I don't know. This nose is super complex. I'm going to go A- on this. I kind of like it.
I do like it. I'm fine with an A- there. I agree.
I agree. All right, initial taste.
I can't stop smelling this, dude.
Because the more you smell it, the more flavors come out.
Pause.
The taste is where you get some of that peat, like that earthiness. That's a typical Scotch taste. It's not overpowering.
This is why I love Highland Scotch.
Right? It's a very pleasant peat, like a little bit of a sour, like fungus note, but it's not anything that's off-putting. Like when you're talking about Scotch, you have these earthy notes. And earth is not to be confused with like fire, peat, smoke. Those are two very different things. And if you are a Scotch fan, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. This is more on that earthy, fungusy, sour note.
Yeah, there is a sour aspect to this,
Right?
isn't there?
And there's some like iodine in there too. Like this is a very complex.
There's a lot to this.
Yeah.
The initial taste for me is above a B+. I'm just trying to configure where I'd put it. I feel like A- makes sense.
Yeah. I agree.
I agree.
This is the second single malt in a row outside of the U.S. that we've tasted like the sulfur iodine mineral note to it. And I'm kind of digging it.
This is very good.
Mm-hmm. All right, ending note?
Yeah, the ending note is... It dissipates quick, but every element of it lingers, where your mouth is like, all right, it's gone, and the rest of your senses are like, that hasn't left yet.
Yeah.
Which is a really cool experience.
It stays around for a very long time.
Yeah. This is a sipper on a porch at night, and it's like a financial planning meeting.
Well, Quinky-dink, we have one in 30 minutes, so
Kinda.
crushing it.
Kinda. That's a please keep us out of jail meeting.
I don't know if he can do that. But
I really like this. Way more than I thought it would. And I mean, dude, this is like further cementing my love for Highland Scotch.
yeah.
The ending note for me, it's not necessarily any different tasting notes or anything like that. It's the exact same as the initial taste. It's just a really cool experience that your mouth is dry, but your senses are still 100% involved in what you just consumed.
To me, the minerals are coming more into focus on the ending note.
Yeah, for sure.
Which I don't know if I'm a huge fan of that. I want to separate being a fan of it versus just being excited because it's different. You know, like we haven't had much mineral in our whiskey before. So
Right.
these last couple reviews, we've experienced it, and I like it, but I don't love it. I just think that I'm thinking I like it because it's so different.
Yeah.
So I think ending note, I'm going to go B+ on this.
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like, wow,
initial
this is
taste-
one of the greatest things in the world. Yeah, the initial taste is like, wow, this is really,
Right.
really cool, different, fun, good, and quality. The ending note is like, yeah, it backs it up. And then it's like, let me know when you're ready for the next sip.
Sure.
Yeah, I agree. Final rating?
It's going to be an interesting
Yeah, this will be a doozy. Derek, give me that countdown.
3, 2, 1. 91.
91.5.
Crush
It's
it.
a really good single malt. And I implore you to swing over to Addie's in Williamsville, pick this up. It's definitely less than $60 because we got this at the same day that we got Old Elk. So try it out. Let us know what you think. And drop a comment below because this is something that you should have, even from the talking points alone of what it is. And then from the tasting note standpoint, if you're trying to grow your palate, this is one that you should try because it's going to hit totally different things that you generally will not get with normal bourbons and etc.
We talk about this all the time about how you can become or enhance your palate without like going to Wegmans and putting something in your mouth like while you're in the aisle. This is something that you can do because the tasting notes are so pronounced that you can be like, oh, I don't know if I ever would have picked up a mineral note if I didn't have something like this.
Yeah.
Mineral is very hard, like that metallic note is very hard to get in something else, but if you go right to this, you can taste what we're talking about. It's very distinct, and to me, it's just so exciting.
Yeah, it is. It's a really good pickup. It's a good buy.
And it looks great on your shelf, too, at home. So
Truth, it's gold.
there you go. All right, well, thank you, everybody, for tuning in to today's review of Aberfeldy 12-year Highland single malt Scotch. We really appreciate it. If you are going to pick this up, please remember to always drink responsibly, be a good person, and Michael,
Do not litter.
we're out.
Thank you.